Hey, so this is probably going to be a long video, but I just want to get it off my chest in the YouTube world and just share and see who happens to stumble upon this video because you never know. But DJ Khaled really opened my eyes to some things, and I used to make fun of him, but because of this incident I watched on YouTube about paying off America's debt. Um, because of watching this video, I now am like, wow, DJ Khaled, there is a day. There is a they, and they don't want you to know things. I'm old, so I'm on Facebook. I don't mean I'm literally old. But before somebody in their 50s try to jump on me for using the word old. And this is off topic, but hey, old people and relatively young people like in your 30s and 40s who get offended by young people like myself calling ourselves old. We're not trying to slight you. We're not trying to make fun of you. It's just our way of coping with the reality of aging, because we're realizing it is real, it is inevitable, and we're coming to grips with it just like you did. So stop your whining. I'm not calling myself old to say you're a dinosaur. I'm just calling myself older than the people who don't use Facebook. So because I'm older, I am on Facebook, and DJ Khaled was all over Facebook like last year. So I started following DJ Khaled, and I started watching his Snapchats, and then I started taking him seriously. I started, he kind of became like a motivator in my life because he's just always so positive. It doesn't matter how fat you call him and how stupid you call him, he will keep being positive and keep, sending those pictures of the angels in the flowers, and keep trying to push people to be great. Okay, I like DJ Khaled. So I was, I had DJ Khaled on my mind, and I was trying to do some research on, like, how are we going to pay America's debt? I know it's not a buzzword right now, but guess what? We're still in debt. Whether the media is covering it in a frenzy anymore or not, we still in debt. So I wanted to do some research about what do people think now in 2016. And I found this video. I watched this video a few years ago, and back then I was watching it just very passively, just like whatever. But lately I've been doing a lot of self-education on how wealth works in America, and how does one become wealthy in America. And so, I know things that I didn't know back then that allowed me to watch this video and feel like tweeting DJ Khaled, oh my God, you are so right. They don't want you to know. Oh my God, they really don't want you to know. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I hate conspiracy theories. I don't think there is I don't think it's like there's a legit conspiracy. It's just, I think it's just human nature. And I'm going to explain a little bit towards the end of what I'm talking about. So this clip I watched, hopefully I'll remember to put a link in the description. But basically this dude, he's a millionaire, and he wants rich people to have higher taxes to pay off the debt. So I'm not even going to talk about what's wrong or what's right with that viewpoint, because in the video they don't even talk about what's wrong or what's right about that viewpoint. They completely ignore incredibly important talking points and implications of that viewpoint. They just completely ignore it. The debate was entirely incoherent and unintellectual, and I think they do that on purpose. So the dude is on one of those Piers Morgan type of shows. Those shows where if you're invited on Piers Morgan, they're trying to roast you. So the dude was so dumb. The dude was so passive. Like, I lost respect for that dude because I realized that dude, either he wasn't prepared very well, and I feel sorry for him. He needs to fire whoever got him on the show. But also, maybe he just doesn't know that he's being used. And so the host of the show and his friends, of course, combated that view. And the host started out saying, well, I worked hard for my money. I work hard. I'm an immigrant. I started with nothing and I built wealth for myself. And I already pay a lot of taxes. I already pay higher taxes. So I don't want to pay higher taxes. I want to keep my money and give it to my kids. I have a family to provide for and create a legacy for. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, that's always the point that they bring up, whatever. And then for the entirety of the rest of the clip, they were yelling and arguing about that same point. They kept harping it over and over again. I work hard for my money, so I keep it. And I wouldn't be making this video if it was just, this is my money, I own this money, therefore I do what I want with it. Because that's reason enough. That's reason enough. It's not what higher taxes, okay? It's your money. Doesn't matter how hard you worked for it or not. It's your money. You should keep what's yours, okay? That's a selfish view, but that's a view a lot of people have nonetheless. It would be a very valid view, and it would be a very understandable view because we live in a capitalist society. We take ownership very seriously. But the fact that it didn't stop at that is what made me very suspicious. And then I started having a DJ Khaled moment. Whoa, oh my God. They're doing this on purpose. They don't want you to know. Oh my God, they really don't want you to know. And what I'm talking about is this. They kept harping on this I worked hard for my money point. If they brought up other points, then I wouldn't be suspicious. But the fact that they brought up this one point over and over and over and over tells me that this is deliberate. Why would this be deliberate? Well, first of all, you need to understand why I think it's ridiculous that they keep saying I worked hard for my money. Let me explain. Wealthy people don't work hard. That's the whole point of becoming wealthy, so you no longer have to work hard. If you're a wealthy person and you're working hard, you're not actually, what your idea of wealth is incorrect, or you just really love what you do. Like you're doing your life's work and mission. So you're gonna work because you don't care about the money. It's just nice. It's nice to have it, and you know, it, so you can use it to do more work, right? So if you're wealthy, you're not working hard unless you're just super power hungry or you love your work. Okay? I'm not saying it's easy to become wealthy. It takes a lot of work. Over 80% of our population is not trying to become wealthy. I understand that there's different situations. We have a massive amount of homeless people and homeless freaking children, hungry children in our country. We have people below the poverty line and people barely making it at the poverty line or just above. But if you're middle class, you really have no excuse. If you're middle class and you're not working towards building wealth in the appropriate manner, the real way that wealth is built and not just the American dream way. By the way, my definition of the American dream is hard work equals one day wealthy. That's when people say American dream, I'm like, okay, that's the typical American dream, right? That if you work hard, you can one day be wealthy. If you're middle class and you're doing the American dream part, or some people aren't even trying to do the American dream, right? Basically what I'm saying is if you have a certain amount of money, you can also work super hard and become rich. You can. Really, anyone can, but especially if you're middle class, if you work hard, you can become wealthy, but it's a different type of hard work than what you have been raised to know. And if you're not trying to become wealthy, you're either ignorant to the fact that you can, you don't care, you don't care about being wealthy, it's not important to you. It's not a big deal, whatever. You're happy where you are or whatever, you don't care. Or you really believe that if you just worked hard enough, that it'll happen one day. Like a part of you just believes that and lives that. Or that, you might win the lottery. Or that, it doesn't matter, your job and the government will take care of you. Or you'll figure something out, whatever. Okay? So those are the reasons I can think of for a middle class person, even a broke, even if you're one of those middle class people who say you broke, those are the reasons I can think of that you're not trying to build wealth. So there's people in our country who don't care to be wealthy, or they don't have what it takes. They just don't have the mindset. Whether it's mental or they're really in a crap situation, they don't have what it takes to pursue real wealth. Okay? And that is most of the country. Right? So these dudes at this table represent a portion of the country that is the minority. Okay? Very few people in our country know and understand what these guys know and understand. So I'm not saying that it just came easy for them, unless it was inherited. If your money is from old money or you inherited that money, then you're just like the rest of us. You're just like the rest of the 80%. You just happen to have a lot of money. You don't know things. There are things that you don't know. You don't have to know. You're rich. You didn't have to put in the hard work to become rich. So you didn't have to learn. You didn't have to learn the things that self-made wealthy people know. And seems like they don't want us to know. What I'm saying is this. When you get to a certain level of wealth, your money makes money. You don't have to go to, you don't have to do anything. Your money makes its own money. It makes every year you get several people's paychecks worth of money merely because you had money at the beginning of the year to begin with. That money makes more money. Do you understand? And that's just part of it. If you're wealthy, you damn well sure know how to make income that's non-taxable. And I know some of you might be like, no, actually, all of your income is taxed. Okay? It's called income tax. Okay? All of your income is taxed. My friends, there are ways to earn money. I'm not talking about being a stripper or nothing like that. There are legitimate legal ways. Sorry, it's not illegal to be a stripper, but you know what I mean. There are legitimate ways to make money that is not taxed. That is non-taxable. There are ways to reduce the amount of money that you spend in taxes. There are ways to pay lower taxes by deferring, by pre-taxing. There's ways to open up an account that has money that makes more money for you so that you never have to worry about using any more of your money to pay taxes ever again, because you have a set aside of money that makes more money every year that you can use to pay taxes. Your kids, you set them up, okay? Their inheritance isn't going to get touched. If you're a wealthy person, you have all of this stuff set up in such a way that if Uncle Sam did one day decide to come and increase your taxes, your lifestyle will not be affected. Wealthy people know this and live this. That's how they stay wealthy, because they know how to keep their money. They know how to stay wealthy. That's why they're wealthy. None of this was mentioned in that segment at all. I was disgusted. Because one, the rich dudes at that table, and they all claim that they are self-made millionaires. So they know the deal. And they know what it's like to not know the deal, to not be in on the joke. All those dudes are perpetuating the false idea of the American dream that if you work hard, you can be rich. Most people will never become rich. So, I mean, I just personally feel like, okay, that's crap. You are pushing this idea that if you just work hard, just keep working really hard, you'll be rich. When you know that doesn't work, and you know most people who aren't rich now will never be rich. You know. So that's just kind of mean to... Oh. Sorry. I'll call him back later. I just want to finish this point, okay? You know that, okay? 2, you know it's in your best interest to make sure that people still believe that. If you're a wealthy person, I mean, your lifestyle will not be dented or damaged by increased taxes, but you don't want increased taxes. it is to your benefit to make sure that people don't really learn how to become wealthy. It's to your benefit to make sure people still view you, a wealthy person, being in the same boat as them. Okay? So me, as a normal person with a normal income, if my taxes were raised, yeah, that would definitely alter my life. A wealthy person will not be affected the same way a normal middle class or even upper middle class or even rich, even a rich person who doesn't know these things will still be significant. Their life will be significantly altered with increased taxes. A wealthy person will not. It behooves you to make sure that people still think that you're just like them, so they don't support an idea like increased taxes that will benefit them, right? If the rich were taxed, you would benefit. You, normal person. You broke po ass person. You would benefit. While the rich continue living rich lives relatively unaltered. But you can't see that. All you can see is that, well, they worked hard. They're hardworking just like me. I wouldn't want people taking my money. So I don't want people taking their money either. Okay. I see what you're doing there, fellas. And I know that the dude that they brought to roast, he's broke. He inherited that money. He doesn't know. He's not wise to the game. If he was wise to the game, he would have counter arguments for every single thing that they said. I don't even believe in the dude's proposal. I think that dude's proposal of taxing the rich over a certain income is not the smartest idea. I don't even agree with that dude. And I'm sitting here saying, well, that dude could have taken them. He could have taken them on. He could have taken them. If he was smart, if he was wise to the game, he really could have taken control of that situation and made his idea seem like a very good idea. Okay, but he wasn't wise to the game, so they duped him. They were duping him just like they're duping all the rest of us. It's just that dude has $1 million and we have $5. Okay, he has $1 million and that $1 million might go down the drain because he doesn't know just like an NBA player, get millions and millions of dollars, balling, and next thing you know, you bankrupt. Okay, you're not wise to the game. You're not wise to the game. Most people, even lots of rich people, even people who I don't consider rich, but you probably consider rich, they're not wise to the game. There's only a few percent who are. And there's only a few percent who are benefiting from the game. Okay, there's a percentage of people who are wise to the game, like me, but I'm still broke, right? I'm not a wealthy person. There's people who are wise to the game who are benefiting from the game, and they would really like it if you continue to not be wise to the game. It benefits them while hurting you in the process. Crazy, right? That's when I gave my kudos to DJ Khaled. They really don't want you to know.